All right, so can you see this ugliness behind me? Can you still see all that red? Do you need to adjust your color on your monitor to kind of make it not red and maybe put some green up in there? It has been a terrible day in the markets. Oh my God, it just makes me not even want to come on here and do this video, because if you're long, you're probably hurting and feeling the pain. So let's just go ahead and kind of zoom in this thing and see what we got going on. All right, so the FinViz, man, I like looking at this because it kind of shows me the picture of the day. You can see how the Dow was, everything was not too bad approaching 2 o'clock. And it just gave it up. I don't know what news happens. If you do know, put it in the comments. Let me know what happened at 2 o'clock. All right, because I was watching a movie because I was like, man, I ain't even looking at this market. Anyway, you got the NASDAQ, right? And just flatlined and just gave it up. And if it was able to hold this level, I was actually going to say, you know what, that's kind of bullish, because that 10-year was just, that yield is just going insane. And it is maybe something to be concerned over. The market's concerned. And we'll look at that real quick. But yeah, it just kind of gave it up. And maybe it was a spike in the 10-year to make all of this just kind of collapse at 2 o'clock. Same with the S&P. The S&P never did turn green, but it tried. And then boom, 2 o'clock. And go to that heat map. Look at that, man. Just red all over the place. The banks, I had said that in yesterday's video. The banks are just don't fight. It doesn't matter what the market does, right? The banks. The banks are up all the time. It's really unbelievable and incredible. But I think if you jump on that train, you're probably jumping on at the last stop. I just don't know if it's going to be continuing that. But hey, who knows? All right. So let's just go ahead and look at. Let's pull up that. Here, I got the TLT. We'll start with the TLT. Here it is. Zoom in a little bit and just look at that decline. Look at that viciousness right there. And that is why the NASDAQ, especially the market, and the NASDAQ especially, is just giving it up. And you see I got this little trend line drawn, and it just went right through it. It's unbelievable. I'm going through the trend line. No, the trend line's no good. And you know what? It can't really continue. Well, it could do anything it wants to, but it's got to be some kind of check back before it can kind of continue going down like that. But that move is crazy on the TLT. Let's look up the TNX. This is the 10-year Treasury Index. This is actually what the yield is at, and it's at 1.73. And this is the inverse of the TLT. You can see how it's just shot up off the bottom. You could see if I were to draw a trend line, say like that, you can see how it just lifted it up, lift off, straight up. But when you look at this TLT, this TNX, this index, you could see here that it is, and can you track this? Can you track this like support and resistance? Because you're coming up into it. You're right in the resistance. I can't see us just going straight up through all of this. We had that coming down, right? Coming down and coming back up. Let me get in here so you can see coming back up. There was no resistance to be heard of. And then now you're in it. You are in it. So I don't think we just continue to go straight up. There's got to be some kind of sideways action and maybe a check back going down. I don't know. If you draw a trend line from 2018, though, let me get here. And, right, just kind of bring it down like that. And you can see how it, it did cross it. But does it come way up here, like in a snap of a finger? I don't think so. I think now we're going to see some chop, up, down, sideways, shuffle on that 10-year. Let's pull up some of these stocks that was just like crazy. On today's video, I was going to show you an Amazon trade. And maybe I'll save it for tomorrow. And I wish I would have put the trade on today and not yesterday, because Amazon is down 107 points, but when you look at it, it's still in the channel, right? And I was thinking it was going to do something like that, and it didn't. It's coming kind of down right here, but it's still in the channel. Believe it or not, everything is all good. Oh yeah, let me show you this tick here, the tick on the NASDAQ. This thing is interesting. And I'm gonna go to the 15 minute. And so this is the Nasdaq. All right, this is the stocks ticking up versus ticking down, and 1,000 is generally extreme. I talk about this every once in a while. All right, these are extreme levels. That's 1,000 to the downside. Here's 1,000 to the upside, and just look at the action today. Right? I mean, what is that? Is that about 2 o'clock? Yeah, about 12:45. We started just kind of hanging out down there, and that's that. I mean, the selling was on. I mean, it was just wow. It's incredible there. But here's something, and you can see that doesn't take place, at least not on that 15-minute chart. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. You can see more of that action. Um, Kind of zoom in here, little fuzzy, and yeah, this one is a little hard to see, a lot of cluttered up. But you could see here's the 1,000-point range, and yeah, we've been having some of that action for the last for a bit, but there's been a lot of action. When I zoom in and just look at look at that, right? So it's telling me that it maybe we bounce here, right? It's just like, man, you can't just keep printing prints below the 1,000 tick, man. It's gotta reverse. Generally, when something, you can look at this chart, and if it ticks below 1,000, you could buy futures or something, and it goes right to the other side. It's almost like a guaranteed trade. But if you did that today, you got chopped up, man, because it was going to below 1,000 and staying down there. That was damn near any ticks above zero. Let me see. The highest tick today was about 320. So anyway, let's move on. All right, there's something interesting I wanted to show you. Let me see if I could bring up the advanced decline line. And we're going to look at it the same way. And this is on the NASDAQ too. Let's pull up the daily. Let's pull up the daily. And this is something I just thought was a little peculiar too, because I said on the TN, the ticks that, wow, man, that's kind of extreme. But you know what? On the advanced decline line, it's not. We didn't even go below 2,000. And this 2,000 would be kind of extreme, right? So we kind of hit it and we kind of stayed right there. Now that's telling me that, maybe there's more selling to go, right? Or it could tell me that wasn't too bad. It wasn't a bad day at all, but I would actually like to see it kind of just flush out down there, and then maybe we could bounce back, but it didn't. It wasn't really extreme. And I guess it's also saying that it wasn't a lot of stocks that was getting slaughtered. If we were to zoom in, even though you saw that heat map was just all red, but that's the big boys. That's the S&P 500, and the big boys was just getting crushed. So that was just a little something to kind of just make you go, that we didn't see anything here. I want to pull up Tesla because I thought Tesla was going to actually make a bounce here, make a play. And I want to show you something. Even though Tesla was down 6.93%, I'm going to give you some positives here. If you look at the volume on today's move, it was lower than even yesterday. The volume was low on this big move. Another thing that we could kind of hang our hat on is this is almost an inside day, meaning this candle is inside the parameters of this candle, but it looks like it breaches it to the bottom here. But let's just call it an inside day. What does that mean? That this move can possibly continue to go higher, right? The move that it's doing, inside day, then it just kind of keeps going up. So we'll see what that looks like tomorrow. I know if that bond, if them yields just reverse or take a spike lower, the NASDAQ is going to rip. So make sure you're not on the wrong side of that move, because I don't know what would trigger that, but it can come out of nowhere. And you know what's something else that's interesting that I noticed? That the market is selling off, but nobody's buying bonds. Generally, you sell off the market, you jump into bonds. But the bonds is or sell the market is selling off, bonds are selling off. Where's the money going? Is it going to Bitcoin? I didn't pull up Bitcoin. I don't know. But it's generally, kind of switches, but nah, that didn't happen today. So money out of stocks, money out of bonds, so it's something to make you just go, I've been thinking about that this whole move. Maybe it's going to the banks. Yeah, that's what's up. The banks. And let me, here's the daily on the banks, and it's just look at that. It's incredible. I mean, I just never thought the banks could make a move like that. You want to see something real interesting though? And I'm like, this is just bizarre. This is Goldman Sachs, and it has made an incredible move from November to now. It's just up 91%. And if you want to go back to the March low of the pandemic low to now 175% to the upside, take a look at the monthly. What? That's insane. That is an insane move. This chart is the monthly. It goes way back to 2001, and you just don't see a move like that nowhere. It tells me that this stock doesn't make moves like that. It's not supposed to make a move like that, and that's why I said you really can't you don't want to get on board this. It's just not going to go straight up. You've seen what's happening to the tech after all the straight up moves, and you see they coming down. They just, it's just over. And this stock, along with some other stocks that's going straight up now, will eventually, have their day. One interesting thing from last year to this year, which I just never seen before, stocks go straight up. It's like when something is working, it's just boom, all the money goes in and goes straight up. Boom, 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 straight up. It's unbelievable how that works. It's just straight up everything. As soon as it's working, and they F it up, right? They get in there. Let's say you're in the Goldman Sachs. Yeah, you made the money, but this is something you probably need to be selling. You can't just ride that out and thinking you're just going up to 455s. It's not going to happen. It's not going to go like that. But who knows in this market? Who knows? It's really incredible. Hey, let's take a look at the VIX. One thing that I said in yesterday's video, all right, we tagged, this is the hourly, by the way. So we tagged this low here. We got into below 20 yesterday. And I was like, well, according to the playbook, that's when you buy the puts and we go up. But I think it's actually going to go lower. And I still do. Because if you notice what's happening here, go way back, to the this is March. Anyway, you see it coming down, right? It's coming down. And we finally went right in it, bounced, we're in it again. And see these lows are going, they're tagging below 20. And that's something, if you're bullish, that you want to see. And eventually we're going to just crack where the lows are getting lower, right? The lows are getting lower. But the bad news with this move is, okay, the stochastic is just going straight up. That's kind of, last time that happened, last time this move happened was here, right? And then look what happened to the VIX, right? When it cleared up to 31. So, well, I guess it kind of happened here as well. So maybe we'll go with that one because we don't want this VIX to fly up to the 31 area. But you see that VIX, you see the slow stochastic pointing straight up, and then you see the moving averages. I used the 2 and I used the 20, and they crossed over and starting to head higher. So that does have me concerned. That does have me concerned a bit. And if you notice, the last time we came into 20, we bounced, but we didn't go that high. Then we came into 20, bounced. We didn't go that high. And then on this one, I think we cracked it there. Yeah, 1976. Boom, right? Just explosion, right? So the high here was 22.6. All right, so see we coming back down. If I pull up the 5 minute, it doesn't mean nothing. I'm really reaching here. You can see how it didn't hold the level, and maybe that can continue to kind of work its way down. I don't know. I don't know what this market wants to do. But I'm just trying to show you what's going on, some things I noticed, some stocks. Put in the comments if you want me to look at something a little bit more in depth. I'm just kind of looking at the same stuff, just a little disappointed on, well, it's actually doing what it's been doing, right? And so the things that's been ripping is still ripping. The S&P, the Dow, not that bad. They gave it up at 2, but for the most part, for the last couple of weeks, it really hasn't been that bad at all. It's just the Nasdaq's right, just getting crushed. All right, so there's the video. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you like it. I am Dre Trades. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter, and I'm right here on YouTube, Dre Trades 2. That's the channel name. And let me know how you're playing it. You know, are you out? You in? Are you scooping up some deals? Because I tell you what, it get your list and even start buying. I mean, some of these stocks I didn't hardly go over any of them, but are really getting crushed. You know, and they're deals. If you're in it for the long term, you can start scooping these up and just hold, you know, cover your eyes and bite the bullet and hold. It never feels good when you're buying on a sale. It's funny because if you would go to the store and buy, say, socks on sale, you feel good. Oh, yeah, I got the socks. Anything you buy on sale in the store feels good. In the stock market, you buy something on sale, it never feels good. It feels like shit. And unfortunately, with stocks, we like to buy high and sell higher. And when you buy high, like Goldman Sachs, you'll be like, oh, you feel good about it. But no, man, that's terrible. It's overpriced. You gotta come back when it's on sale. So a lot of things are on sale. So if you're interested in any of them, you know, get your list and start scooping them up, man. It's because this stuff, you know, I think it's temporary. But I don't know. That's just my truck driver opinion. All right. I am Dre Trades, man. Thanks for watching. I'm out. Peace.